I've been disappointed in some of the criminal referrals that are collecting dust on Attorney General Bondi's desk.
Has the Justice Department done enough?
Well, I would like to see more. That's the biggest complaint of every Republican on the House Oversight Committee is there haven't been enough arrests.
So someone from the Justice Department has not picked up the ball yet?
It appears that way.
Okay, well, that must be frustrating.
Very frustrating.
All right, House Oversight Chairman James Comer there saying what many in Trump's base, many conservatives in this country are thinking, where's the action? Criminal referrals, his committee sent to the DOJ. He says have been collecting dust on Pam Bondi's desk, that the lack of arrests is the largest complaint that he hears. Now, the Biden DOJ was hyper-aggressive, right, toward the president, his political allies, his supporters. The Trump DOJ has very little interest in perhaps righting that wrong. This chart is everywhere online, you see here. Makes it very clear, no arrests or accountability for a lot of major scandals. Russian collusion, Mar-a-Lago raid, Jeffrey Epstein, the DOJ fraud findings, COVID, just to name a few. There's a lot of bad people in the last administration and attached to the previous administration, the Democrat Party. And it appears the president is frustrated as well. Wall Street Journal reporting the president has complained to aides recent weeks, about Attorney General Pam Bondi, describing her as weak and ineffective enforcer of his agenda. Adding Trump has talked with allies about how he could appoint special counsels to the Justice Department because he's so frustrated with what he sees as the slow progress of its work. House Oversight Chairman Congressman James Comer joins us now. And, sir, it's good to have you back on. Can you name the most egregious actions that you think the DOJ is sleeping on here?
Well, first of all, we worked very hard to investigate Dr. Fauci. We proved where he lied to Congress. That obviously is a felony. We gave criminal referrals to the Department of Justice. Now, this was when Merrick Garland was there, but the statute of limitations is 5 years. So all of our criminal referrals are still ready to be picked up and run with. Obviously, the Biden investigation, we spent a lot of time on that. We proved where the Bidens lied about the money they got from China. We subpoenaed the bank records, which is very difficult to get the bank records of a sitting president of the United States and their family, but we did that. We proved we followed the money without a shadow of a doubt that it came from China, and thus far there's been no action on those criminal referrals, and there are other investigations. We did the AutoPin investigation and proved without a doubt that Joe Biden was never in the room. He was never had meetings on his schedules. He never met with anyone. No one ever saw him authorize those pardons. That was a months-long investigation where we brought in people for depositions all during the summer, and when the government was shut down, we were still working on that, and yet the pardons haven't been officially declared null and void yet. So that's just the tip of the iceberg. We're now focused on Minnesota fraud.
Yeah, well, that's I love that. That's the focus now. As far as and speaking of pardons, I mean, Fauci got a pardon, Hunter Biden got a pardon, and I imagine, I mean, that's probably why I would assume no action was taken against Tony Fauci, who I think deserved to get hammered for what he did to the country. He got a pardon, which shows you exactly what they thought he committed a crime if he was pardoned.
Right.
So I guess that explains that one away. But as far as the pardons go, Joe Biden's still alive. You know, if he, I mean, how do you enforce? How do you go after him if he's just going to say, no, I knew about all these pardons? I mean, how do you renege those pardons? Wouldn't that be tough?
Well, look, again, there's no evidence. No one we brought in. We brought in the top people in the Biden administration. None of them ever communicated with Joe Biden. They were just taking the word from someone else. There was never any meetings where he discussed these pardons. And at the end of the day, you're really not supposed to use an AutoPin for a legal document. So there are so many instances where I think there would be great success in court because of our investigation, where you could get those pardons declared null and void, and that's the January 6th committee.
What about
that's the Biden family?
Yeah. What about people like John Brennan, Clapper, and then I was thinking Alejandro Mayorkas lied under oath, just crushed the sovereignty of this country and dumped millions of people into the country. That's the prosecution I think is much warranted.
Yeah, we impeached Mayorkas in the House, but the Senate just pulled their nose up in the air and didn't even have a trial. I was very disappointed in the Republican senators. I'm not going to blame that one on the Trump Department of Justice, but I feel like the Republican senators let us down in that one.
Yeah. I want to talk about Epstein for a second. You're planning to move to hold Bill and Hillary in contempt of Congress. Bill didn't show up today to be deposed. Hillary's supposed to be tomorrow. It sounds like she's not going to show up. They wrote you a letter claiming every person has to decide when they have seen or had enough and they're ready to fight for this country, its principles, and its people, no matter the consequences. For us, now is that time. The letter goes on, but they're essentially saying that Republicans are destroying the country, and that's why we're not going to come in and be deposed. What's your reaction to that?
Only Bill Clinton could try to declare that he's the victim in the Epstein investigation. I mean, give me a break. Look, that subpoena was voted on by Democrats and Republicans. That was a bipartisan subpoena. Every Democrat in the committee voted to subpoena Bill Clinton. So he can't say it's a partisan investigation. Bill Clinton had Jeffrey Epstein to the White House 17 times when he was president, and post-presidency, Bill Clinton flew on Jeffrey Epstein's plane 27 times.
Yeah.
So it's not like they didn't have a relationship with each other. Obviously, they knew each other very well, and we just have some questions.
Real quick, I got 5 seconds. What's the grade that you give the Trump DOJ and Pam Bondi on Epstein?
Well, that's been a public relations disaster. I hope that they will hurry up and turn the documents over. Congress has made it very clear we want those documents. And look, from what I've seen, Trump has no liability, so I really don't understand what's taking so long, but hopefully we'll get the documents and we can wrap this investigation up. If Bill Clinton does not show up, which he didn't, we're going to hold him in contempt of Congress.
Contempt of Congress for Bill Clinton. Chairman Comer, good to see you. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
The Iranian Islamic regime is murdering at least hundreds of its own people to try and hold on to power. The president